Hi, welcome to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. Glad you could join us tonight. I'm Kenny Fogel. Glad you could be here. We're going to do what we can to educate, inform, and just provide you a little entertainment whenever necessary. But today, we're in the education field. We're going to be talking to Lynn Potter here today. And Lynn, first of all, I welcome you to the show and appreciate you being here. And I know for a full-time job, I guess you're the family resource coordinator for, well, you got two different schools under three different schools. Okay, tell us a little bit about that before we go into what we're really here for today.
Okay. I have Foster Heights School, Cox's Creek, and Old Kentucky Home Middle School. Family resource, I don't think a lot of people quite understand what family resource is all about. We help students and families remove non-cognitive barriers to learning so that the students are able to spend more time in the classroom because we're working behind the scenes to help take care of things where they may not be able to focus. For example, I had a young man who definitely had a toothache for a long time, and his parents, I was working with them, but his passport insurance had become, it was time to fill out paperwork all over again. It was past the deadline. And in between that time, I was able to make sure that I got him to the dentist to take care of that need during the school day because there was a problem where his dad couldn't take him and his mom couldn't take him. So, making sure that I'm able to get the student the help he needs, because it's sure hard to focus in a classroom when you have a problem where your tooth hurts, you can't see maybe because you need to go to the eye doctor. So family resource is a mixed bag. We also provide a lot of engagement for families, family engagement where we have opportunities to bring families together. A lot of times the focus is on literacy, where we give out books. So we purchase books. We want to make sure that each child and each family has books in the home and a library of books. One of the things I want to make sure that people know about family resource, sometimes family resource is thought of as help for families that are low income or uneducated or
poverty type
poverty.
issues.
And yes, that is part of what we assist with, but really we do a lot of programs for everybody, all educational levels, all income levels. It's just kind of helping to enrich the school with activities for families and students, and networking in the community for the needs of our students and families. And
you identify concerns a lot of times that people don't see. I mean, I know a teacher may notice that a child is not paying attention in school, or maybe the child's hungry, or the child has got some issues, or something that nobody's really picking up on, and that's when it becomes your problem or your issue, I guess.
Yes.
So that's when you step in. It's in some sort of a counselor role in many ways, guidance counselor in a way, is you maybe not be guiding them in academic ways, but you're setting them up so they can perform better academically.
Yes. We also we work a lot with our students' junior achievement. That's a wonderful program for elementary, middle, and high school. But that is, educating our students about real life experiences, how to handle money, how to budget money, what's the difference between a need and a want. In middle school, it's getting them to think about job interviews. It's getting them to think about the activities that they do that can look good on their applications for college. It's also getting them hooked up with thinking about tech school and other vocations, because not everybody is college. We don't want to push college for everybody. We need all kinds of people in our working environment.
So again, we all need that probably, even as adults, but you might have to expand a little bit more. But really, what we're here today to talk about is another program that's similar to what you're doing, only it's at a very early age. As far as I think research has shown that kids start learning at a very, very early age, and I know this Born Learning Academy that you've been involved with. is something that's addressing that.
That's a program I'm very passionate about. 4 years ago, Boston School, Christy Van Devender with Boston School wrote for a grant because the principal at that time wanted a Born Learning Academy. And so it's a program that's for the whole family. It's for families that have children age 5 and under. Those who have children age 5, it should be for families that those children are not currently enrolled in kindergarten. And it's not for low-income families. It's not for families that don't have college degrees. It's a program that affects all families. Mm-hmm. I wish that when my boys were growing up that program was available to me. I have 2 boys. One is 29 now, and the other one's 24. Well, when I grew up, I babysat, but I didn't babysit any babies or change any diapers or interact with babies. So when I was at the hospital and it was time to go home from the hospital, I remember being terrified of going home with this baby. And I asked my husband the next day, I begged him, I was like, please don't go to work because I don't know how to handle this baby. You know, babies don't come with instruction manuals, you know, and every child is different. And so it took me a while to learn different things about how to interact with my child. Mm-hmm. And I wish that I had the simple tools that Born Learning Academy provides mm-hmm. that give really everyday moments.
Oh, is there something happening every day that you're learning, the child's learning, and it's to their advantage, but to be ready for school. But all this is just free of charge, and you're providing, and you got people like you guiding them along the way, and people that's had experience and trained in this.
Well, Born Learning got started in Kenton County mm-hmm. and through the school district there, and it was an initiative of United Way and Toyota. And then as it really became successful in that county, in their school district, it expanded. And so I'm very, very proud to be a recipient mm-hmm. of United Way and Toyota. And so just an example of going back to talking about 4 years ago when Boston School was able to get that grant. I knew already Born Learning's curriculum, and so I was able to go and teach the 6 families that Christy had at that time, along with Marty Shannon, who some people out there might know Marty. She's a great community person and is involved in a lot of community events. And so we loved it. We were very passionate about what Born Learning is, and I did it in the hopes that I could eventually bring it to my schools. And, you know, I wrote for the grant for the last couple years, and other schools were chosen, and mine wasn't chosen. And I was, you know, really kind of devastated each time when I would hear that I didn't have the program. Yeah. And then I found out this past April, and I can remember just screaming when I read the email from United Way and Toyota that I got the grant, and I was like, ah! You know, but the good part about it is that there was another grant that people could apply for, coordinators could apply for, and it was through the state through Race to the Top funding. Mm-hmm. And so Stephanie Harrison is the Bloomfield Elementary coordinator, and she received the same, you know, grant, a little less money through Race to the Top, about half the amount that I'm receiving through United Way and Toyota. Mm-hmm. But so she received the Race to the Top grant, and then Catherine Webb received, and she's with Bardstown Primary. She was the coordinator there, and she received the grant. So now we're able to offer it at 4 different locations within Nelson County and Bardstown.
So basically every family resource center in Nelson County and Bardstown has some program of some sort.
Yes, absolutely. And like when I applied for the grant, because I serve 2 elementary schools, they told me to apply for the biggest elementary schools, which is Foster Heights, because it has 700 families or students and their families. And but it was with the understanding that I could invite my Cox's Creek families to come to the Foster Heights location. So currently right now I have one Cox's Creek family and one Foster Heights family. We've had 2 workshops. It started in October, and we had the second workshop last month, and we're gearing up for our third workshop, which is December 17th.
That's coming up.
They're all on Thursday nights throughout the county and the city. We wanted to make sure that we all had them on the same night so that if a family was referred to us or was interested in the program, we could just say, okay, where do you live? This is the closest program for you to go to.
Now, if somebody who's out there is interested right now, it's not too late to sign somebody up to bring them in.
No, it's not. Families can join in any of the workshops at any time. They run through March, and then we have a celebration with families in April. But just to give our viewers out there an example of what our programs are, in October we started with an overview of the series, and we talked about translating early learning research into easy to do activities. And then in November we talked about building relationships, and we talked about child care centers in the area and what to look for in a child care center. And then we also give them little quizzes. They're not tests, they're just fun little quizzes. And the one that we did for November was, Are You Baby Smart? And then in December, it's Ready to Read. It's building your child's language skills, learn ways to make reading fun, and learn how to connect with song and games. In January, we're talking about nutrition and health. Nutrition, and again, I said nutrition, and we're also talking about sleep. In February, how children learn, the brain development, and ages and stages, what is appropriate for the age of the children and the stages that they're going through. And then in March, it's routines and learning on the go, and morning, after work, and bedtime.
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you to learn about this, they just call the school, or how do they get in touch with you?
They can call me. I've kind of been like the contact person trying to get it promoted in the community, and then I can send them to the right school location for them to go to. And the family resource office number that they can contact is area code 502-349-7006. And they can ask for Lynn Potter. I have an answering machine there, and I travel between 3 schools, and I'll get back to them within 24 hours. And
you got all kinds of books and props there with you today. Is that the kind of stuff you use at the?
Yes, and every workshop, every child receives a book, and we also, the money that we get through the grant provides us with money to provide food for every family. So there's a free meal involved. It starts at 5:30 every Thursday, and it's over about 6:15. There's kid-friendly food, and then at 16 we have child care workers that are employed by the Nelson County School District, and those child care workers take the children to a separate play area, and the parents go off with myself, and I have 2 facilitators. And would you like to know who those facilitators
Sure, absolutely.
are? My facilitators, I have Ashley Caldwell. She is the Director of Community Collaboration for Children, and she has a master's degree in teaching, and she also works with a lot of families as an in-home educator through the grant that Community Collaboration for Children receives. And then my other facilitator is Melanie Carter Hack, and she is a licensed family and marriage therapist, and also is the director or therapist with University of Kentucky's Targeted Assessment Program. These 2 women are awesome. They are so knowledgeable about families.
I know Melanie. I know how good she is. Yeah.
So they're awesome, and they have a passion for the program as well. So families not only get free child care, a free meal, and then every workshop, there's a huge door prize. It's usually made up of things that's at least $100. And one time I gave away a $25 gift certificate to Cracker Barrel. I had a movie basket for the family with popcorn and some different movies and everything, and toys, and that was all in the basket. So every month there is a door prize. So it's just a fun evening.
I like that title there, How to Talk to a Baby or Toddler. I mean, we all need to learn how to do that.
And so just saying that, Kenny, because a lot of people are still thinking, well, I still don't understand the concept of this program. But, you know, when children are born, the window of opportunity for them to soak up as much information as they can is wide open. And, you know, the birth to age 3 is a critical time for their brain to absorb as much information as they can. And then once they start to reach age 5, that window is slowly starting to shut. So it's a real critical period in a child's life to be talked to, be read to have their brain stimulated. And it's about how you can act intentionally with your child, like talking to your child and saying, well, as you're getting them dressed, and say they're a baby, oh, let's put the blue sock on the left foot. Okay, yeah, we've got to finish getting your shirt on. Let's get this yellow shirt on over your head. And, you know, just, you may sound silly, but you're really stimulating your child, and they're really absorbing all the talking and the interaction that you're doing with your child. Another example is if you're taking your child for a walk, and they're in the stroller and you're behind the stroller, instead of having headphones in because maybe you're listening to music, maybe it's the time to just talk to your child about what's going on around them. What color are the leaves? You know, the change of the season. Look at that dog over there, you know, or you know, anything that might be happening around them. It's a perfect opportunity to have that time
and
to
you
just
teach
talk.
people how to do that and
Yes.
guide them, so that's the perfect thing
Yes.
about it. Well, that's great what you're doing down there. And again, the Christmas season's coming up on us, and you probably can't come up with a better gift you could ever give your child as a gift of education or the desire to learn. So again, you might want to call in and find out what you can do to again just help you out. And income and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. It's all free, and it sounds like you have a lot of fun in the process.
Well, and I just want to cap it up with saying that the families that I have now, I have one of the dads, he's an engineer. The mother, she teaches public speaking at one of the local colleges. The other mother I have is a stay-at-home mom, and her husband's not able to come because he's teaching Cub Scouts that night.
Well, they understand the value of education.
Right, exactly. And, you know, so the very first session that we had, we talked about how you have things around your home that you can just make for your child, that it doesn't cost a lot of money. This is 2 paper plates with duct tape that I picked, and there's popcorn inside here, and this would be for a toddler. And it's just shaking. A water bottle is used as an example for an infant, and you can take an empty water bottle and you can put any kinds of beans or rice, even popcorn in that, and seal the top with again the same duct tape, and that becomes a rattle. And a coffee can and a spatula becomes a drum for a toddler.
Well, that sounds like it's great. And again, the gift of education. Give Lynn a call. And again, what's that number she can get you at?
502-349-7006.
All right, Lynn Potter here with us with the Family Resource Centers here in Nelson County, but also the Born Learning Academy. And we'd like for you to look into it if you can. If you got a young child under 5 years old, give her a call. It'd be the best call you've made all year. So, Lynn, first, again, thank you for being in here. We appreciate you doing that, and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Kenny, and thank you for being part of United Way.
Well, it's our pleasure. Well, stick around. A lot more to come here on Channel 6. We'll be right back.